All right, ladies and gentlemen. So this lesson is on how to compose a proper email. So what you're going to do, first of all, if you don't know how to get to your email, is to go to what we call the waffle, these squares right here. Click on it, and then you click on your Gmail, and it should pull up your mailbox. Now, you might see that you have notifications from your teachers or from Google Classroom. You can just kind of skim through those. If you don't need them, then you can go ahead and delete them. So we are going to compose an email, or you are going to compose an email. So the easiest way to do that is to click Compose right here. Now this is my signature, this right here that you see at the end of my email. You guys will not have a signature. That's a more advanced skill that if you want to learn how to do that, you can Google it. So I'm just going to kind of move it down the screen here so that you don't see it. Maybe you will continue to see it. Okay, well, we'll just leave it. So the first thing you have to decide is who are you sending your email to? So if you are sending it to me, click on where it says recipients right here, and you can type in my last name, and you can see my picture. My first name pops up right there, and so you would be composing the email to me. Now, if you were composing your email to Mrs. Tubera, for example, type in Tubera, make sure that you get the correct teacher. This is Mr. Tubera, so he's not your teacher. Don't send an email to him. So you would click on her name, and there's Mrs. Tubera. Okay, but you guys are sending an email to me, so here we are. Okay, next thing, and this is really important, and a lot of times students will skip this part of the email. This is the subject area. You want your teacher to know right off the bat, what are you emailing them about? Okay, so if I have a question, for example, about Google Classroom, let's say, my subject might be question about Google Classroom. Okay, make sure it's very short, to the point. Your teacher knows what you are asking about. Maybe I have a question about today's assignment. So I could say today's assignment in the subject area. Okay, for our purposes, you guys are composing an introduction. Okay, and so I want your subject area to be introduction. Okay, now the next thing that's really important to do in an email is to address the email to the person. Okay, so you guys are writing to me, so you could say, "Hi, Mrs. Hamilton, comma." Sometimes you could even leave off the hi. You could just say Mrs. Hamilton. You could say dear Mrs. Hamilton, but that's really kind of formal. You probably don't have to be that formal. So I would just say hi or say Mrs. Hamilton. Okay, make sure that you greet your teacher and you don't just jump right in and start typing your question or your assignment for today. So hi, Mrs. Hamilton. Now for your assignment, I have 3 things that I want you to answer or to write about in your introduction. First thing is 2 interesting things about yourself. So you might begin by saying 2 interesting things about me are, and then you have to think of 2 interesting things. So 2 interesting things about myself are that I have a twin sister. I am an identical twin, which is kind of cool. And my second interesting thing is that I can speak Japanese. That's pretty interesting. Maybe I'll speak some Japanese for you sometime. So that's the first thing I want you to talk about. Then I want you to ask me a question. Okay, and your question could be something school related. If you don't understand something, you were confused about something today, that could be your question. Or if you don't really have any school related questions, ask me a question about myself or about my life or something. So for example, you might ask me, are you hoping your baby is a boy or a girl? Maybe that's what you want to ask me. Don't get too personal, of course, be school appropriate, but you could ask some sort of question, okay? Then the final thing that I want you to write in your introduction is I want you to tell me something that was the best part of your day today. So the best part of my day today was getting to meet all of my new students. Okay, so that's the best part of my day. Think of something good. Don't copy all of my answers either. You guys are going to see this year that I do a lot of modeling for you. I will write things before you write them. Don't copy my ideas. Don't plagiarize me. Okay, come up with your own ideas that you want to write about. Okay, so this is kind of the body of your email. The next thing that you need to do is, it's kind of weird if you just leave it at that and then say bye. Okay. So maybe say we need some sort of closing. So you could say, see you tomorrow or something like that, or talk to you soon, something like that. Some sort of closing so it's not so abrupt with you taking off here. And then, of course, we need your name. So maybe your name is John Smith or something. Okay, so you could just say, probably put your last name because it's the beginning of the school year. You could say John Smith. You could say, thanks, John Smith. Or you could say, if you want to be super formal, you could say sincerely, John Smith, so on and so forth. Okay, so make sure that you sign your emails. Okay, even though we know it comes from you, it just sounds weird if you don't put your name. Okay, so here we have our introduction email. So you guys are all going to be sending me, when you're ready to send it, you just hit send, and I will be replying to you. So I want to see that you can format an email correctly, and also that you tell me a couple of things about yourself and I can respond to you. So if you need to watch parts of this video again, please do so and ask me if you have any questions.